series tied 2 games apiece. All right, back here with Chris Walker, John Gonzalez. And Chris, your reaction to how this game played out. The Pacers built themselves a 10-point lead, then some late game execution where they struggled. Your reaction to how OKC was able to prevail?
Listen, I was talking to John in the green room. I said, John, they should be up about 15 going into the fourth quarter. They squandered some possessions in the end of the third quarter, didn't make free throws. I mean, just erratic offensive play. And then down the stretch, and I love Nembhard. He's done a great job, but he's taking circus shots. Halliburton, as I said before, if they're going to win this game, who did I say? He has to finish.
Yep.
Miles Turner was awful tonight. Neesmith was awful, just fouling for no reason. Just play solid defense on Shea, and you're fouling him on difficult shots. Listen, I've said Rick Carlisle's done a tremendous job. I've given him a lot of credit. You don't play Ben Mathurin. He scores 27 points. I thought his substitutions were erratic. And I think he put them in a position. How is Siakam not in the game? And you got Nembhard taking shots with Halliburton, who, again, he was in the torture chamber tonight. He made some plays, but he was on his heels all night long. So, again, I know the stats are going to say OKC shot 3 for 17 and you lost the game, which is ridiculous on the road, and they win, right? And you can say their defense won the game, but I disagree. I think the offensive selection, shot selection from the Indiana Pacers and 2 of their better 3-point shooters in Neesmith and Turner were absolutely awful tonight, and it cost them the game.
SGA was SGA in this game.
It took him a while to get going.
Yes, but in the fourth quarter, he got to the free throw line, and he showed us why he is clutch. He showed us why he was worthy of winning the MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. Ends up shooting 50% from the field, and then he has 8 free throws. He makes all 8. He's automatic when he gets to the line. That's why we were saying, like, you know, this is something that is part of his skill set. But if you're the Indiana Pacers, this feels like a massive missed opportunity. Just the second loss for the Pacers in the clutch in the postseason this year. They had a 7-point lead going into the fourth quarter. You think, that's it, that's a wrap. They're the closers. They're the ones who always play well down the stretch. Instead, it's Oklahoma City that flips it with a 12-1 run in the final 3 minutes. And for them to lose this game, the Pacers, at home when they have a chance to go up 3-1, where SGA has no assists, and the Oklahoma City Thunder go just 3 for 17 from deep. It is inexcusable for Indiana to lose that game. You would have thought all day long that's the Pacers game, and instead they're going back to Oklahoma City going, what just happened?
Let me read this to you. Teams were 4 and 34 this regular and postseason when having 5 or fewer three-pointers made. OKC made 3, make it 5 and 34.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and it's because of the decisions on offense. There was no way they should have lost this game. I mean, Miles Turner, where was he tonight? He did not show up. And my thing is, again, and I love Nembhard, and that's why I was saying at halftime, I said, guys, if they're going to win this game, Halliburton's got to have one of those 30-point games. He's going to have to get it done. It may look like he played decently, but he wasn't aggressive all game long. And, again, he did not dictate the pace, so it's easy to look at his stats and says, well, he played good and SGA did this. But, again, they were able to continue to put the pressure on because Indiana was pedestrian on offense.
There's a theme here with Tyrese Halliburton. In the 2 games that they won, he was involved early and often. In the 2 games they lost, he didn't get going until, you know, second half, fourth quarter. You need more from Tyrese Halliburton early. I know that Rick Carlisle has said that that's not the way that their team is oriented, that they're a team ball kind of thing. When Tyrese Halliburton hits the 20-point mark, they're 34 and 4.
Exactly.
It's really that simple. He had 18 tonight, but it took him a second to get going. He just wasn't involved. You kept calling for him to get involved and to, you know, push himself into this offense and really assert himself, and he didn't. It took him too long to get going.
And here's the thing, Akeem, think about this. You're trying to beat a team that's historically one of the best defensive teams, an 80-team win team.
Yep.
I mean, I don't care what Rick Carlisle's saying about, well, that's not how we play. Rick, who cares about that? You got a guy who's everyone's question is a superstar. You're up 7. You should have been up 14 going into the fourth. You're up 7. Miles Turner's not playing great. Neesmith's just playing erratic defensively. Jalen Williams is cooking him. He's fouling SGA. His mind's all over the place. And you got Nembhard taking ill-advised shots. And I'd like to see how many shots down the stretch that the Eastern Conference MVP took. Like, it's erratic offensively.
Yeah, they were outscored 31-17 in the fourth. In Oklahoma City, much like what the Indiana Pacers have done all postseason, they've come back from double-digit deficits. This was their fourth double-digit comeback this postseason, and they're great following a loss. Now 6-0 following a loss this postseason. When you look at what the Thunder was able to do against Pascal Siakam, had a fantastic game. But also, too, I want to take you back, John, to what you said about SGA. The 2 games they lost, he did not get to the free throw line double-digit times. The 2 times that he did, they won. He was 10 for 10 tonight for 35 points. So that's also the key there with SGA is getting to the free throw line, and he got to the free throw line late. Maybe a questionable call here or there, but he got the call, and he delivered with what we called on him to do. So he did. At-Star stepped up. Tyrese did not.
That's what he thinks he can do every time out, right? He expects some of the fouls absolutely were questionable.
Sure.
But he anticipates that he's going to get some questionable free throw calls, and he's going to get to the line. And once he gets there, as you mentioned, 10 for 10, he's automatic once he gets to the line. He very rarely misses. And then on the other side, the Pacers missed some crucial free throws down the stretch. There were a number of different moments where you thought, okay, this is where the Pacers can regain that lead that they had going into the fourth quarter. Instead, it was the Oklahoma City Thunder that played better down the stretch. And yes, they have been excellent following losses, 6-0 after losses. They haven't lost a back-to-back game in the postseason. They just answer the bell. We keep saying to the Pacers have been really good in the clutch, and they have, aside from tonight. But Oklahoma City, for all of the things that we dinged them for coming into tonight's game, hey, up against the wall against Denver, they answered the bell. Now up against the wall against the Pacers, they answered the bell. Now they have home court advantage back, and they're going back to Oklahoma City, where they've been fantastic all season long.
How do you feel about the Pacers still right now? Why do you still believe in Indiana?
Well, listen, they're going to have to win it in 7. All right, there's no way if Pacers in 6, that's done.
Okay.
I reserve the right to change. Pick here.
I'll allow that. I'll grant
they're going to have to find a way because again, I was banking on them winning this game.
Absolutely.
And they had it in control. But hey, I'm not coaching. I'm not playing. I get to be a prognosticator. And what I'm saying is I'm being very critical of the way they finished that game. That, again, we can say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did his thing. But he was allowed to because if the Pacers were scoring, he doesn't get. It's a much different feel offensively for OKC because they're scoring and getting to the foul line. And that's the other thing. I love Tyrese Halliburton. You don't take but 1 foul shot, they play 4 games. That is what's going on right now. That's the overall theme. And I know he's been critical of the media and saying this, hey, bro, there's some truth to what's going on. This was the game that you could have shut everybody up and got it done. Don't ask me how. Shai got it done tonight, right? You want to be a star, this is the time you got to step up. And Miles Turner, he did not show up to the game bridge tonight. I don't know where he was. But, again, if he made a couple of threes, that could have loosened up the game because you could say the double big lineup helps. But at the end of the day, they got some some offensive rebound opportunities. But Hartenstein was just okay, but he made some crucial plays. Again, if they kept some plays alive, some hustle plays that helped when they were in a pinch. And then, again, Shai got it going, and the rest is history. Yeah. They just blew that game, man.
They did. Yeah. The Thunder outscored the Pacers in the paint 50-36. However you want to draw it up, perhaps the double big lineup helped OKC in this game. They get back to what works. And you look, John, now at your expectation for the Pacers in this series, it feels like, man, if they take a 3-1 lead, it's over. It's a wrap. Now you start to feel like, okay, OKC can take control of this series. They get a win on the road. They're going to go back home on Monday night. They could really ratchet it up.
Yeah, that was a really gritty win for Oklahoma City, and I think it's just such a deflating, demoralizing defeat for the Pacers. If you're the Pacers, I think that they thought in that fourth quarter, going in with the lead, especially because the other 2 games that they won in this series, they were trailing going into the fourth quarter. Yep. Hey, we've got a cushion. This is easy work for us, light work for us. We're the fourth quarter team. We're going to pull away and go up 3-1 in this series. And I think maybe they were looking at that going, oh, man, if we're up 3-1, we've got a stranglehold on this thing. It's parade, it's championship time. And maybe they took their eye off the ball a little bit on this one. Going back to Oklahoma City 2-2. Chris, I know that you said if the Pacers are going to win this, they're going to have to win it in 7. It is hard for me to imagine the Pacers going to Oklahoma City and winning on their floor in 7 games. All of a sudden, this thing flips. In the fourth quarter, I was thinking, look at this. It's the Indiana Pacers. They're going to win a championship. And now I'm thinking, oh, this summer, if they don't win this thing, and it looks right now like they might not, they're going to think about this night for a long, long time. And this is going to be the reason, potentially, why they're not holding a championship parade in Indiana.
Wow. The series is tied 2 games apiece as we head back to Oklahoma City for Game 5 on Monday night. OKC's 8th straight Game 4 win since 2020 and their first road win in an NBA Finals since 1979. And as you take a look at the schedule, perhaps it will be a best of 7 here. Maybe we will go 7 games. Or does OKC rip off 2 wins? Did the Pacers rip off 2 wins? This is anybody's series at this point. Game 5 when the series resumes Monday in OKC. You can watch the entire series on ABC. Coming up, all tied up at 2 games apiece, heading back to Oklahoma City for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. It's anybody's series. Next on CBS Sports HQ.
Go. The 2025 CBS Sports NFL schedule is here. 18 glorious Sundays.
He's got his receiver touchdown.
Filled with rematches.
Oh, the play of the year.
And rivalries.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Plus, plenty of superstar showdowns. And an epic matchup between the Chiefs and Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Clear your Sundays beginning September 7th for the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Someone targeted our daughter.
What are we going to do about it? I've got an idea.
Let's go.
NCIS, Tony and Ziva streaming this fall on Paramount Plus.
One of the best movies of the year is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
What are we dealing with here?
There's a hostage situation.
Get the crew in. It's gripping from beginning to end.
We can't make one mistake.
September 5, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
The most original musical ever is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm just giving the people what they want.
Better Man absolutely sizzles from start to finish. Better Man, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is Chicago. Streets always gonna have a villain.
To protect the city, we have to do something. Women, it's time to get to work.
The Shot, new season streaming May 16th, only on the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan.
These are the voyages of the Patrick Starship Enterprise.
Where's the sponge?
Weird dream.
Whether you like SpongeBob, Star Trek, or both, find your mountain on Paramount Plus.
Hi. Novocaine?
Novocaine! Novocaine is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
You're gonna love this.
Oh, you're strong!
It's wildly entertaining and an absolute blast.
I'm in.
Novocaine, rated R, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I wasn't ready to die.
The wait is over.
I need to know what happened.
Discover the mystery everyone's been talking about. School Spirits, every episode of all seasons now streaming on Paramount Plus.
What's he like? The happy-faced killer?
You mean my dad? Be glad you never have to know.
You think that you're so much better than me. You're just like your old man.
I am not like you at all.
Broke himself.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Mobland, new series now streaming on Paramount Plus.
She knows, and I know she knows. And that goes a little something like this. Here we go. Little something, little tune to play. Make a good time,
Back here on CBS Sports HQ as we continue to follow Game 4 of the NBA Finals, and following a loss, well, OKC is perfect this postseason. A perfect 6-0 following a loss this postseason. We take you back through their run to get here, now tied at 2 games apiece, heading back home for Game 5 on Monday night. Back here with Chris Walker and John Gonzalez. And Chris, look, we saw SGA clutch in the fourth quarter Tyrese Halliburton, the rest of the Pacers, not so much. We also saw Alex Caruso with 20 points off the bench, 5 steals. This is a guy that goes and gets buckets. This is a guy that plays hard. You talk about TJ McConnell on the other side. This is their gritty guy. This is a guy that can help you win an NBA championship. When you look at a guy like Caruso helping a guy like SGA and Chet and the guys around him, what does he mean to this Thunder team?
I mean, he means a ton. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's actually won a championship. He's played with the greatest player ever, in my opinion. He knows what it takes to win. And that is why Sam Presti got rid of Josh Giddey and brought him there, right? So, again, you're looking at the most steals off the bench.
Incredible.
That's incredible. But he had 20 tonight. Now, you know, this is the first time, I guess last night was his first time, he was scoring 20 all year long. Tonight. And this guy has been, again, when they struggled, he made tough shot after tough shot. He made a defensive play, got a tip here and there, a tap out. All those are winning plays that you don't see that show up on the stat sheet that you need. And again, they were down in the fourth quarter, and everyone's looking at SGA to score. They're not thinking about all those little scrappy plays from a guy who's been there before. And that's what the bottom line is. He's been there before. He got it done, John. And now, guess what? They're going back to the pay comp.
Well, this is something that this could be an underrated move, the trade to get Alex Caruso. I mean, this was a great move by OKC, and you can give love to Sam Presti.
Oh, absolutely. This is exactly what Sam Presti envisioned when, look, Josh Giddey had fallen out of favor with that team. He couldn't, they basically decided they couldn't play him in the postseason because he was a massive negative on defense. Now all of a sudden you go and get Alex Caruso straight up for Josh Giddey, and you have that whole bushel of draft picks that you had that people thought, well, you have to give up a couple draft picks to get Alex Caruso. No, Sam Presti works his magic, and in comes Alex Caruso, who has made all defense twice, as Chris mentioned. He's a former NBA champion. He had no 20-point games during the regular season. Now he has 3 in the postseason.
Unbelievable.
He's been fantastic. This is exactly what they needed for him. We've talked about the bench for both of these teams. Yep. Well, tonight, from the bench, the best player in this game was Alex Caruso, and especially in the fourth quarter where you needed somebody to lock it up at both ends, he was there for them. So, yes, full credit to Sam Presti, who continues to work his magic.
Yeah, you talk about the guy stepping up off the bench in Game 3. It was Benedict Mathurin. He failed down the stretch, missing free throws for OKC. It was Alex Caruso off the bench. You look ahead to Game 5. Let's start with the Thunder here. Who's a guy you're calling on when you get home to continue to step up, or a guy that we have not seen much in this series?
So John and I were talking about this, and again, you're talking about hopefully he's not injured. But if they want to finish this thing, I think Chet Holmgren has to play well for them to win it. SGA is going to be SGA. Jalen Williams played great again tonight, and Caruso was the guy off the bench. But I believe they're going to need Chet Holmgren to finish this thing. You know, I don't know how much Hartenstein brings. I know they're talking about the double big, but Chet Holmgren, he had 14 and 12, and we were like, does he really playing good tonight? We're sitting there going like, But again, at the end of the day, they're going to go home, and they got to go back to Indiana, and I just think he has to at least be solid, right, for them to continue to be on the same be in the same situation they're in now, where they have a chance to win an NBA championship.
He's a good one. We just talked about Alex Caruso. I would expect that Alex Caruso coming off the bench would be important for them as well. We haven't even gotten to Jalen Williams. In the pregame, we talked about it, and I said Jalen Williams had a breakout season. He made All-NBA, All-Star, and All-Defense for the first time in his career. When you reach that level, you have stepped forward into, maybe we're not calling him a superstar because it's only his 3rd season, but we're in certainly star level, right? And he's been, let's call it hit and miss during this postseason. There's been some games like in the Western Conference Finals where he went for 30-something, a playoff career high, but they lost that game. I wanted to see him step forward in games that really matter. Tonight, he was excellent. We were just now talking about him. So as the series goes back to Oklahoma City, you need that same Jalen Williams from Game 4 to show up in Game 5. Keep it going.
27 points, 11 for 11 from the free throw line. Make your free throws, kids. He was excellent. For the Pacers, who are you calling on to step up in Game 5 on the road? We always say role players usually are better at home, but somebody's going to have to step up. Or, hey, we need Tyrese. You need to go out and get buckets.
Miles Turner.
There you go.
I mean, come on. I mean, I definitely want to say Tyrese Halliburton because it doesn't go without him. And they tried to sneak it in tonight because that would have been the narrative. We still got it done without Tyrese getting it. Not going to happen. Miles Turner going 0 for 6 because he relieves pressure, that double big offense. When they run that high ball screen and he drives and they're in drop coverage and they can't throw it back to him to get a 3, that takes away the lane for Halliburton, for anybody else. And they just sit there and play volleyball or make it tough to make shots. Because if you watch the game, every time Nembhard drove or every time TJ McConnell drove, they just stayed with the shooters. So if no one can make a shot and relieve pressure, that plays right into their hands. So although OKC didn't shoot well tonight, 31%, right, from the Pacers at home, that's not great either to get the 3-1 lead. Miles Turner has to play better, right? That's 1A, but Hakeem, 1B. If Halliburton doesn't play well, the criticism is going to continue because this was the game to get it done for the Pacers.
Miles Turner was throwing up those Lego bricks.
Oh.
Wishes, but you need him to step up. That's the guy you need him to step up. Who's the guy you're looking at in Game 5?
Yeah, he was, I mean, Miles Turner in Game 3 had the 5 blocks,
yeah,
right?
It was
and
huge.
Tonight, he couldn't hit a shot, and especially as you were mentioning, when you're in drop coverage and they're taking away the paint and they're murdering, Oklahoma City killed the Pacers in the paint tonight. You need somebody to make shots from outside, absolutely no doubt about it. This is an easy one for me. It's the obvious one for me. It's Tyrese Halliburton. Again, I just keep coming back to when they've won games in this series and in the postseason, he's been engaged right from jump. In the games where they lose, or they've tended to lose, he's been, okay, you know, it's a slow start. He's going to try to be a facilitator. I'll get my offense going in the second half. Can't do it. I know that this is the way that Rick Carlisle likes to play. He likes to get everybody involved. But Tyrese Halliburton, when he's engaged, when he hits that 20-point mark, they're a really good team. Next to unbeatable, essentially. When he doesn't hit the 20-point mark this season, they're 2 games under 500. You're 2-2 now, going back to Oklahoma City. If you fall down 3-2, now your backs are super against the wall. You cannot wait for Tyrese Halliburton to engage. He has to start fast in Game 5.
Who you got in the series now that it's tied 2-2?
Well, I had Oklahoma City in 5 games. Obviously, that's not going to happen. And then I extended it.
OKC in 5. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
5.
and then I extended it to 6. So I guess I'm going to stick with Oklahoma City in 6 games because right now, all of a sudden, all the momentum back on Oklahoma City's side.
Listen, I'm so down right now on the Pacers and how they finish this game. But at the end of the day, you know, they're playing against one of the best teams statistically, shall I say, ever in NBA history. And I'm not going to flip it. I'm going to stay loyal to my Pacers.
Okay.
But I'm going to say they're going to have to get it done in 7, even though I'm levying a lot of criticism their way right now. I'm going to say Pacers in 7. They get it done on the road. I don't know how. Maybe Tyrese will listen to us. I know you listen to Drew Hanlon. How about he talk to you after you play good? Forget about talk to you after you play bad. Talk to him after he plays good. And have 2 straight games where you're aggressive. You know what I mean? Not be a front runner. Right? Not be a front runner and then criticize people in the media when all we're doing is talking about what we see. Period. That's what it is.
Even Steven headed back to OKC for Game 5 on Monday night. The Pacers 2 wins away from their first ever NBA championship. The Thunder 2 wins away from their first championship since moving to Oklahoma City. As the series moves to Oklahoma City on Monday night, 8:30 Eastern. You can watch the entire series over on ABC. And, of course, we'll have full highlights and post-game reaction right here on CBS Sports HQ. Still ahead, we'll relive the drama, the 4th quarter drama with SGA as he lifts his team to a Game 4 victory. All knotted up at 2 games apiece. You're watching CBS Sports HQ. Keep it locked.
Go. The 2025 CBS Sports NFL schedule is here. 18 glorious Sundays.
He's got his receiver touchdown.
Filled with rematches.
Oh, the play of the year.
And rivalries.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Plus, plenty of superstar showdowns.